In 2005, prominent Muslim politician Wajid Khan visited the Al Rahman Islamic Center in Toronto. It's been widely reported that during his visit, Khan heard a speech from the oldest suspect, Qayyum Abdul Jamal.
There are reports that at least one of the individuals involved in this, in fact, spoke out against Canada's role in Afghanistan, but you don't think there's a connection?
No, I don't. And
after Qayyum publicly criticized Canada's military role in Afghanistan, Member of Parliament Wajid Khan had this to say about him.
We have to watch out for people who are trying to teach disaffected youths that it's the Muslims against the rest, a war of civilizations. Anyone talking through his hat should be kicked out and reported.
Then there's this article from Maclean's. It reads, asked by Maclean's if he reported Qayyum's incendiary views to the RCMP or CSIS, Khan said cautiously,
I don't think I want to answer that question for obvious reasons. All I can say is that I did my duty. I can't be quoted on specifics.
The next summer, Qayyum was arrested at gunpoint, along with 17 other Muslims, many of whom attended the same mosque.
I don't think these things happen by coincidence. It only happens in the lives of simple people like us. Coincidence happens. In these people's lives, it doesn't happen in coincidence. So Wahid Khan, as an agent of Stephen Harper, he went there, he heard what his people told him that you will hear, and as a representative of the government, his word is strong. He gave this statement about Abdul Qayyum, and he focused the light there. Here is the light. The light of what? The guy is saying something that can be said in any free country. That's what Stephen Harper should be proud of. Is one of his people in his own country is saying it loud and clear. I cannot speak my mind. Look, Qayyum was under the false understanding of democracy. He was criticizing sending people to Afghanistan. What is bad about that? He was under the impression that we are a free country.
The same summer these men were arrested, Liberal MP Wajid Khan oddly became the Conservative advisor on the Middle East and Afghanistan. 5 months later, he left the Liberals altogether and joined the ruling Conservative Party. Did Wajid Khan sell out his fellow Muslims as initiation to prove he was the right man for the Middle East position? We can only speculate. The surveillance leading up to the arrests was admittedly uneventful. That changed with the injection of at least 2 informants.
It's very interesting to see a surveillance put on people for 2 years, a full 2 years. And after the 2 years, a couple of informants appear, then all of a sudden charges of explosions and bombing.
One of the spies is Mubin Shaikh. The ex-military reservist voluntarily outed himself as an informant in the case for an interview with Lyndon McIntyre of CBC's The Fifth Estate.
To err on the side of caution, I would have to say that these are fruitcakes nonetheless, but with the capacity to do some real damage.
Before working for CSIS, Mubin admits to living a life of women, clubbing, and drugs.
There were the potheads out in the corner there, and it was just an easy life. Like, I've done it all. Acid, mushrooms, like I got 5 tattoos, 12 self-inflicted cigarette burns. When I was sober, I'm doing all this.
Mubin is a confused person. His problem is he wants money, he's a drug addict, he has some good intentions inside him, you know, he doesn't want to really hurt many people. He wants to hurt people enough to get the money.
Keep in mind that the big threat, the supposedly inevitable danger to Canada, was a fertilizer bomb. The police say that these men had the intent to blow up civilians. Here's Mubin Shaikh on The Fifth Estate.
When did you know that this fertilizer or the ammonium nitrate was in the equation?
Just before it was made public.
Oh, so you didn't really...
I didn't know about it. I didn't know what these guys were up to, nothing of the sort.
Wow, we should see that again.
I didn't know what these guys were up to, nothing of the sort. It just shocked me, it blew me away, pardon the pun.
This guy infiltrated a group of friends who supposedly had the intent and the means to cause an explosion. But even the inside man of this alleged terrorist group didn't catch a hint that there was any bomb in the first place. So why is he on television supporting the official story being given by CSIS and the RCMP? And what was Mubin Shaikh's true role in this operation?
They eventually asked him to direct a 10-day winter training program in guerrilla tactics in rural Ontario.
Let us point out that Mubin was a member of the Royal Canadian Army Cadets until he was 19 years old.
A license to acquire and carry weapons is hard to get in Canada, but Mubin Shaikh earned one while an Army cadet and reservist rifle instructor.
Mubin is licensed to purchase weapons, and he's trained to use them.
The guy who called for this was Mubin. The guy who carried the only gun that was in that place, the real one, was Mubin in his pocket. Nobody saw it. It's his gun. Nobody had any gun. If you have a group of people driving a car that belongs to the informant, going to a place where the informant chosen, having the only gun that is real is in the pocket of the informant and they don't know about it. They were told that they are going to play paintball and they had the paintball stuff and they wanted to go there to do the game. They drew all the intentions in the gas station. They knocked on doors to get some drinks.
On the way to the so-called training camp, this group of young Muslim men stopped to ask for directions. Nothing strange there. What is odd is that they chose to stop at a detachment for the Ontario Provincial Police.
They went to the OPP, for God's sake. I mean, what else can they do to draw attention? This can never be an act of terrorism. They went and knocked on door of one of the houses. They asked for water to drink. How can terrorists go to knock on water because they want to give us some water, please, we want to drink? Terrorists they want to be hidden, right? They want to hide. No, they went to a house close by and they not say, well, we are just making some training here and we want some water, please. What kind of terrorist is this?
Is this Mubin Shaikh's true role? Setting up young men to look like terrorists and then drawing attention to the fact? It's the classic mode of operation for an agent provocateur. For whatever purpose Mubin was hired, he was paid generously with your tax dollars.
He was given 70,000 as first payment, and he was given 300,000. Is the whole thing? I think it's $370,000.
Almost $370,000 for less than 1 year's work. In 2006, Mubin earned as much money as some doctors, lawyers, and movie stars. He's a self-admitted drug abuser, which raises questions about how your tax dollars will end up being spent.
Acid, mushrooms.
In 2007, Mubin admitted to spending a significant amount of his informant money on cocaine. Lots of cocaine.